I am Eugene McKay, Chancellor at ASU-Beebe, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here tonight to help us celebrate the success of these graduates. First of all, I do apologize for having to change your graduation night, but if you'd have been here on April the 26th, you would have understood why. We had the tornado the night before. The roof of this building was blown off, and you see we still have some signs of it over there. We haven't replaced the tile over there. We had over 50 trees blown down and scattered all over campus. Fortunately, we had a lot of good people come in and help us clean up, and so you may not have noticed limbs and trees all over the campus as you drove in. So I do want to say a special thanks to several people who helped us clean up the campus so quickly. The John Deere students and the faculty in the John Deere program were over here very quickly after the storm and started helping clean up. Our representative, Jerry was here the morning afterwards to help us plan for the transition. And his father, Dennis Gillum, came back all week with heavy equipment and men with chainsaws, and they cleaned up a great deal of the campus. So we're very appreciative of that. We're appreciative of Alice Bircher at Energy, who at least kept us informed about what the prospects were for being open. We did not have electricity in this building, I don't think, until Saturday night. So you see why we couldn't have the graduation that Thursday in this building. Thanks to Butch Rice of Stallion Trucking, who brought trucks and carried away food in a frozen truck, and Mr. Gillum helped us with some of that too, I think, got that done. The Theater and Public Information Office, because we know that in changing plans, maybe some of your relatives were not able to be here tonight. We are videotaping this, and we do hope in a week or so, maybe, to have it on YouTube, so you can download it and Grandma will get to see it if she wasn't here tonight. Numerous people helped us out. Jonesboro put up our web page because we didn't have any web connection here. Our cell phones worked a little bit, but our telephones didn't and our computers didn't. So it was a long week in cleaning up and without electricity. But in the midst of all that, I got some really good news that I want you to remember as you walk across this stage tonight. The Aspen Institute, a nonprofit organization in Washington, D.C., and the Department of Education used the Department of Education data to determine the top 10% of two-year colleges in the United States based on graduation and retention rates for all students, for minority students, and for low-income students. And they selected 10% or 120 schools to be recognized as the top 10% in the country. 32 states had two-year colleges that were in those 122 schools. Arkansas had one, ASU-Beebe. So tonight, when you walk across and get this certificate, remember the hard work you did and how much you deserve it, but also remember that you're graduating from a university that is recognized now throughout the nation as being in the top 10% of schools in the country. And I'm very proud to tell you that. Now, I want to ask the graduates a few questions. You thought you were going to get out of final exams, didn't you? You know, first of all, I want to say to the graduates, we are glad you came to ASU-Beebe. We are glad that you made our university your university. And I hope your experiences here have been good with us and that you've enjoyed the things that you have learned. And then I want to ask you another question. How many of you graduates are first generation college students? If neither of your parents has a college degree, would you stand up? One more question. It's going to be easy. How many of you plan to pursue a degree beyond the one that you're getting here? If you plan to continue your education and get another degree, would you stand up? Thank you. Now I turn the program over to Dr. Calvin.
Thank you, Dr. McKay. Again, I want to congratulate the students here tonight. Thank all of you for coming here to celebrate with us and honor our 2011 spring graduates. I want to just take a quick moment to introduce our platform party up here, so you know who's up here. Starting on my right, we have Amy Thomas, who is our registrar. We have John Clifton, who is our student speaker this evening. Dr. McKay just spoke. He's our chancellor here on the campus. Jeremy Gillen, who is a representative here in the state of Arkansas, is our guest speaker this evening. And the last person over here is Don Harlan, who is the vice chancellor for ASU-Searcy campus. This semester, ASU-Beebe is going to be conferring 186 technical certificates and 122 certificates of proficiency. The students that are graduating are listed in your program in alphabetical order under their certification categories. And if you notice when you came in and watched students walking in, some had cords around their neck. The students wearing the white and purple cords are members of the National Vocational Technical Honor Society. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our student speaker this evening, John Clifton, speaking on behalf of the graduating students. John?
Dr. Wells, Dr. McKay, Board of Trustees, Administration, faculty, staff, family, friends, and fellow graduates, good evening. It is an honor to be allowed to speak tonight on behalf of the 2011 graduating class at Arkansas State University certificate ceremony. I would like to congratulate everyone here on a job well done. To start, continue, and finish our education is one of the most important decisions we will ever make in our lives. We are proud that we were able to continue our education at ASU-Beebe. And as we enter the workforce, we not only represent ourselves, we also represent ASU-Beebe. We would like to thank the teachers and everyone who helped make this day possible. Personally, I want to thank my mother and father who are always there to guide me and push me and have been since I've been born. They taught me to work for what I want and always do my best. Also, I want to thank my wife, relatives, friends for the encouragement and support they provide to me. I must say, we need to hold our heads high because this graduation is an accomplishment that we will remember for the rest of our lives. It has been a privilege to experience what ASU-Beebe has to offer us. It's not just an education. The experience, advice, and friendship we found on this campus are priceless. On behalf of all the students, for the opportunity we have been afforded in attending ASU-Beebe, a profound thank you.
Thank you, John. Now my pleasure to introduce Don Harlan, who is our Vice Chancellor for the ASU-Searcy campus, who will be introducing our guest speaker this evening. Don?
Thank you, Dr. Althoff, and congratulations to each of you who are graduating this evening. Inside the front cover of your program is some information on Representative Gillum. I'm not going to read that to you. You can read that at your leisure. But I want to make a few comments concerning Representative Gillum that you might not know. He is a graduate of Beebe Public Schools here in Beebe. After graduating from high school, he attended ASU-Beebe began to work on a 4-year degree. After a couple of years here at ASU-Beebe, he transferred on to ASU Jonesboro, where he earned degrees in criminology and psychology. It's been a pleasure for me to be able this year to watch Representative Gillum in his first term in the Arkansas House of Representatives. I have personally observed the hard work that he has toiled with on behalf of the people in District 49, which includes a big part of White County. Every Monday morning during the legislative session, Jeremy Gillum was at the Searcy Chamber of Commerce to inform his constituents of what had happened and transpired during the past week, and what was coming up during the week that they were going to begin that week. So I observed him study and work and try to be informed on behalf of the constituents who elected him. If he didn't know the answers, if he had questions, he asked, and he asked people who would know. He spent lots of long hours on behalf of his constituents in that district trying to find out their feelings and trying to truly represent the people which elected him. In addition to that hard work, he spent many countless hours at home and in the evenings studying pieces of legislation which had an impact on the people, again, who elected him. He worked very hard on behalf of education. He cares deeply about education, all the way from pre-K to higher education. And he lives in Jonesboro, in Judsonia now, with his wife and 2 young sons, ages 3 and 6. He is a member of many committees in the House of Representatives, and it is my pleasure to present to you Representative Jeremy Gillum for your commencement address.
Good evening, faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, friends and family. It's better late than never, I guess, for you. I'd like to start tonight by just expressing my thanks to Dr. McKay for inviting me to be a part of this evening and the celebration that you're having with your families for this wonderful, wonderful occasion. As Mr. Harlan said, I attended here many years ago, and it is a true honor to be back here this evening. This university has always had a special place in my heart, and I'm honored to be here tonight. As I set out to write this, to look at this commencement address and to begin the process of trying to figure out what to say to you, I had no real idea how to tackle this. This is something new that I had been given the opportunity to. I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to go with it, whether I wanted to try to be insightful, like John Stewart and others had been some graduation addresses that I was able to come across and to give inspiring quotes to you, such as college is something you complete, but life is something that you experience.